video to watch. How about maybe a minute 30? If you guys want some information, you probably want to go looking for those, 20-minute videos, the ones that really got something in there. The thing about tools is you got to put some work into them to get any use out of them, right? If you got a tool and you just let it sit in the garage, well, that's not going to do you very good, is it? You got to use that tool. So that's one of the things that we're talking about here at the BTBY is putting tools into your hands. And I'm going to introduce a man today that's going to bring some of those tools to you. Now, this gentleman, when I got to meet him for the first time here at the BTBY, he was like so many folks. He was a stranger at first, and then he very quickly became part of the BTBY family to me, as he already was to so many of you. So I want to introduce today, forgive me, I have to put on some, what do we call that? Some mindset changing devices? Maybe. My good friend here is a functional nutritional longevity coach. He's a Jack Canfield certified coach. He's also a certified personal trainer, an international best-selling author, international speaker, and co-founder of the Chronically Healthy Life. Please welcome to the stage, MD Man!
Hi everyone. I actually got the hardest spot, Greg. Everyone's ready to eat already. So anyways, it's very interesting. I think we are having such great golden nuggets we're all learning here. And everyone's getting a little tired, right? But my topic here is something very dear to my life, and that's about longevity. But before we talk about longevity, I just want you guys to think a little bit, what does longevity mean to you, right? Longevity means something different for everyone. And the second question I want you guys to be pondering is, are we actually living longer now than ever before? But I know that everyone's tired, we've been sitting a long time, and I am gonna need a volunteer because I just realized what I wanna do, I can't do while holding a mic. So, can I have a volunteer to come up on stage? I am going to be showing something that's going to build all our energy back up. It's going to increase our longevity. And more than one would be even more fun. Great. And it is going to invigorate your immune system and digest your food, right? And I like to call this the silly way of just slapping yourself silly, right? But a lot of people call this body tapping, all right? So this is how body tapping works. So what you wanna do is you're gonna be having your hands and we're gonna start slapping here, all right? But you want to do a little pound while you do, yes. So everyone join us, come on up, come on up, come on up. I wanna get everyone's energy up, get the digestive system going. Right, we're starting here, and what we're doing is we're energizing the yin and the yang. We have a bunch of martial artists here. I do not want any sparring, but you guys know about yin and yang. From here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start tapping on the inside of our arm. Flip your arm, and just tapping up. Once you get to your shoulder, give yourself a little massage. Right, flip your hand over, tapping down the other side. Flip the hand, thumbs up, tapping down the thumb. Oh, flip the hand, flip the thumbs up, thumbs up. There you go. Bring your arm up, we're tapping the side. And once you get here, you want to spend a little bit of time here. This is where our lymph nodes are, and we want to stimulate the lymphatic system to get the toxins moving out of our body. And of course, we have a left side, and we got a right side. So, other side, the hand. There you go. Give yourself a little massage. Nice. Flip the hand over. Other side. Beautiful. Right, flip the thumbs up. Moving down. Beautiful. And going back down. Other side of the lymph nodes. And there is some significance. The inside is yang, the outside. Well, actually, the inside is the yin and the outside is the yang, so we are balancing all this energy. Now back to the middle. This is where it gets interesting. You're gonna squat down just a little bit like this. And now we're slapping our back. Oh, you know where it's going. We're going down. We're going to give the butt a nice slap. Come on, just slap it, slap it, slap it. We're going down the legs. All the way down, and all the way down. Coming back up. All right, we don't want any X-rated movements here, so we'll keep it on the outside of the hip. All right, now down the side of the legs. To the inside of the legs. Once again, how far can you go, Sherry? Right, back to the middle, back to the middle. Thank you so much. I hope everyone got a little bit entertained, got your energy up. This is great before dinner time. But in the beginning of my talk, I asked everyone, what does longevity mean to you? And can I get some answers? Someone out there, like, what does longevity mean to you?
Creating a legacy.
Oh, I love it. Creating a legacy. Anyone else?
Going the distance.
Pardon?
Going the distance.
Going the distance. All right. Usually I hear I want to live a freaking long time, right? Does anyone want to live a freaking long time?
Freaking long, healthy, long time.
There you go. So, Michelle says something very important, healthy. And how many people, remember I asked you 2 questions. How many people think we are actually living longer now than ever before?
Yes.
Nope.
No. Yes.
We're dying of disease fast.
You know, that's really a trick question. We are living longer than ever before with modern medication. But are we actually living longer or dying longer? Right, there you go, see? We're living shorter, we may be living a longer time, but we're suffering longer, right? And that's not what we want. And that's what longevity is all about. Longevity is about living a long time, enjoying a life, creating legacy from everything that we're learning here, right? Because we all want to create a legacy that we can pass on. And, you know, in my mind, we can easily live 130 to 150. You know, we can all check back in there in another 70 years, all right? But the way I look at it is back in the day, you know, if you remember our grandparents, our great-grandparents, I'm looking out over here, we got such a range of ages from, I'm guessing in the early 20s, to my favorite karate master there, that he's like close to 70, right? And if you remember, at least I remember my grandfather, he had his health all the way to the very end when he passed away in 92, and he passed away in his sleep. No chronic disease, no medication. He went shopping to Chinatown, he cooked, he cleaned, he did everything. How many of you are taking medication now in their 30s and 40s? There you go, right? What do you think has changed? And the interesting thing is, do we want to live a freakishly long time? Or do we want to be around so long to be a burden to our family? Right? I think a lot of people don't realize that living a long time without your health doesn't just affect you. It's affecting everyone around you. Can anyone relate to that? Right now, you know, my brother has like type 2 diabetes. He suffered for over 20 years with dialysis. He's only 68. And I'm taking care of him. I'm ordering all his dialysis equipment, and I love him to death, and I want him to live longer. But he's a burden, I'll be honest. He's not here, you gotta understand English. Hopefully he doesn't see this presentation.
We will translate.
But the interesting thing is, there are studies that I just came across a study, very interesting. I'm not gonna go into too much of the details of the studies. But in the past, for grandparents, or great-grandparents, aging was sort of linear. You get a little bit more wrinkles, you know, like Sean Connery, he worked all the way to the end, and he was sexy all the way to the end, right? You guys gotta admit, he was sexy. But now, you look at a lot of these older actors, they're having heart attacks, dementia, Parkinson's, like what's going on? There's a study that just came out that aging now is not linear coming down. It actually comes in steps. It's like by the time you hit 40, boom, it drops down. By the time you hit 60, boom, it drops down again. And by the time you're 75, boom, it drops again. And right here, like I said, we have those age group all around us. And I'm just going to give my opinion on why I think that's so. And also another study showing that in general, most of us were living longer than the grandparents, the previous generation. But those born 1980 and later, these might be the first generations that's not going to live as long as their parents. Unless, of course, you can do something, and hopefully you can learn something from here. So, can I get some answers here why people think that later generations now are suffering more and living shorter lives? Anyone? Yes, you.
Convenient lifestyle.
Convenient lifestyle, Uber Eats. Who doesn't like Uber Eats? Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? Yeah, Jeff, you just ordered some barbecue and I was gonna get some. But convenient lifestyle. What about food? What do you think about food? Mental health is another one. Mental health is huge. We're getting bombarded by news, by mental health. Sherry.
Sedentary lifestyle.
Sedentary lifestyle. People are sitting down too much. Anyone else? Go for it.
Pharmaceutical drugs.
Pharmaceutical. We have a doctor in the house somewhere. I have to be careful what I say with that one. But all these things, and food is really different. That is from 50 to 100 years ago. They don't have the same nutritional value. And I'm not even going to go into eating organic, eating grass-fed. These are all going to be in my book that I'm going to be giving away through this presentation. But what do you think all these problems cause? You talk about mental stress. You talk about pharmaceutical drugs. You talk about being sedentary. Convenience. What do you think all these problems is causing in your body? Inflammation. Who said that? Whoa! Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Inflammation. And what do you think happens when you have inflammation?
More cortisol, you age more, you have problems.
Wow, she should be up here on the stage. Anyways, inflammation normally, it's your body's defense system. A little bit, it's great. You cut your finger, it heals, it swells up, it's great. But when you have chronic inflammation from too much stress, too much pharmaceutical drugs, too much sitting on your butt, and eating all these bad foods, it causes problems. But the way your body works is it's quite amazing how it can actually heal itself. When you have inflammation, there's this God's way of healing your body. What it does is it sends stem cells there to repair the damage. And what happens when you have constant inflammation now is you start running out of stem cells. It's almost like a sinking boat. You got this boat, you got this water, this hole in the boat, you're sinking, and here you are. You got a little teaspoon trying to empty the boat. At some point, you're sunk. Right? You just don't have enough stem cells to repair the damage that's coming in. The other thing that is sort of scary is, here's the dirty secret I want to leave to all of you. Like I said, we got different ages here, and I do want to give my theory why we're having this step decline in health. When we hit 30, we lose 50% of our active stem cells. So if those of us here in our 30s, you have already lost 50% of what you had when you were in your 20s. That's why when we're in our 20s, we can bounce around. You cut yourself, you're fine. You just bounce back. But by the time you're 50, we lost 75%. You're down to 25%. And by the time you're 75, you're lucky to have 5 to 10% of your active stem cells. But it gets scarier here. Remember I mentioned that some of us may be aging faster. If some of us got cancer, like some of my friends here, stroke, heart attack, a lot of us here got into physical trauma, car accidents, fracture your back, fracture your neck. Guess what happens during that damage? Stem cells were going there, even though when you were young, and you depleted your stem cells faster than the slope. So what's the solution? The solution's in my book, but the solution is to boost your stem cells. And we go through many ways in my book. Shameless plug here, but everyone gets it free. I was going to put it on the back of my screen there. But the secret is to boost your stem cells. And the easiest way and I'm gonna be hanging out back there if you wanna ask some questions. The easiest way, and I'm sure if you're looking around the room, you probably see these funny little patches on people. And the easiest way is with this LifeWave X39 patch. I'm not gonna go into the science of this patch, but it's very easy peasy to do. It has a adhesive backing. Ideally, you want to put it on clean skin. I'm sweating from these heat lamps, oh my God. And you just put it on, slap it on, and bam, your body now is regenerating stem cells that fell asleep. And it is also kickstarting new stem cells. So no matter what age you are, your stem cells is going to start elevating, and you're going to start reversing age. Aging is not about getting old. I keep telling you, age is a number. You get old because of declining stem cells. So that is really what this is all about. So if you want legacy, you want to improve your business, you want to improve your relationship, you want to build families. We got a lot of young ones here. You want your longevity. And without your longevity, you got nothing. So thank you all for your time. Love what you live and live what you love.